I mean, just looking down at verse 15, Paul says, I don't understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate, I do. It's this battle inside that he's talking about. Does that really describe the Christian life?
Yeah, I remember being in a seminary class where that was the question that was asked. Is this Paul post-Christianity or is this Paul pre-Christianity? And a professor of this college, he was under the persuasion that this was Paul pre-Christianity. And I just remember sitting in that class saying, well, how come this describes my Christian experience? And I think Paul is describing the Christian life because he goes on to talk in else places about the battle between the flesh and the spirit. But if you notice the verbs in verses 7 to 13, all of these are in the past tense. But from verses 14 onward, Paul is describing his sort of ongoing struggle with sin. And then in verse 22, he talks about how he delights in the law of God. Now, unbelievers can't delight in the law of God. So if he was an unbeliever, he wouldn't have said this. He's describing the law of God as being something that's good. You wouldn't get that from an unbeliever. Then in verse 18, he admits to being a lost sinner. He says, I know that nothing good lives in me. That is in my sinful nature. Now, again, no unbeliever is going to be walking around talking about how they have a sinful nature or admitting that they have a sinful nature. So I think Paul is describing the sort of Christian reality.